The 2025 NFL draft class for the tight ends is stacked beyond belief. It's headlined by 4 guys, but the talent and depth is also there in the class. But the 4 guys that you really highlight are Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, Elijah Arroyo, and Mason Taylor. And one of those guys, you could say, he shouldn't be there. He should be a bit more in the developmental range. I get it completely. You can put Taylor down there. But the talent is there. And then you have guys like Gunnar Helm, Harold Fannin Jr., Terrence Ferguson, Mitchell Evans, Jake Breeningstuhl. This class is loaded at the tight end position. Now, there's not too many great blockers, which what else do you expect with college football? It's more spread offenses. It's more go-around, speed tight end, mismatch position. Not saying these guys can't develop into blockers. They're big bodies. They're big frames. They can put on muscle. They can get in the room with coaches and learn that. But it's not their strengths. Their strengths are receiving the ball, creating matchup nightmares, and just getting those hidden yards that teams don't always get with tight ends. We're probably going to see 4 tight ends go in the first 2 rounds. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw 5 to 6. That's how deep this class is. And probably by the end of day 2, we might be looking at 7 to 8. It's a very loaded class, and they all do something different. Tyler Warren, I think, is the best big body, the most athletic guy. Colston Loveland, probably the smoothest route runner of them all. Mason Taylor, he's just an athletic freak that's very raw, but has some really good hands and can develop into just that check down level player. And Arroyo, his route running is phenomenal. His just jump catch ability, contested catch, is great. They all do the same thing technically, but they all do something specialized a bit differently and a bit better than everyone else in this class. That's why you highlight those. If I want a guy that's going to be primarily, hey, you're just going to go 5 yards out, we're going to throw it to you, and maybe you develop into something more, I'm going to take Mason Taylor. If I want a guy who's going to use his big body and athleticism with his route running, I'm probably going to take Arroyo from Miami. And if I just want the absolute freak of a tight end, I'm taking Tyler Warren. But if I want maybe the most well-rounded guy of that group, I'm going to take Colston Loveland. It just depends on what my team needs and what I can do in the future. Now, if I want a blocking tight end, I'm not going to pick Arroyo because he doesn't really have that ability and I don't see it in his future. Even Tyler Warren, I'd be like, I don't really think there's much there. Mason Taylor, Colston Loveland, I see a lot of potential there with blocking tight ends. And then we go down, Gunnar Helm. He's probably the best guy to be a blocking and receiving tight end in this class. He does both at extremely high level, which is why I would put him at the number 5 position for this position group. And even then, it's like, man, he's not as good as the other 4. There's just a gap between them. And before anyone says, oh, Helm didn't do great at the Combine. Yeah. Did you see the photo he posted after the Combine with his messed up ankle? That dude was doing the drills great. He was one of the best beasts at the Combine. When you put into fact, he was pretty much doing it on 1 foot. I just look at this class and I'm just like, man, I really would love the Steelers to be able to draft a tight end here, but they're not gonna because they got Freiermuth, they got Washington, but all these teams that need a tight end, like the top teams that come to mind, Chicago, they're going to want one because of their new system. New York's probably going to want one because of their new system. Denver, Sean Payton is drooling over the fact of getting one of these special tight ends he gets to mold into his monster to take up the middle of the field. And then maybe you have a team like Seattle with Sam Darnold who just would use a bigger body tight end. There's so many chances that we're going to see 2 tight ends go in the top 20. Wouldn't shock me if 2 tight ends went in the top 10. I could see Warren and Loveland both going top 10. And that's great because the NFL is going to start prioritizing the middle of the field. The middle of the field has not been prioritized in recent years. It's all been about outside game, outside game, outside game. Well, let's look at the teams who win. Philadelphia Eagles, what do they do really well? They have a big body tight end they can put across the middle. They do A.J. Brown on slant routes across the middle, and they run it up the middle. They control the middle of the field. And you know what they're doing defensively? They control the middle of the field. Chiefs, where is Travis Kelce always at? He's always in the middle of the damn field, and no one is there to stop him. And what do those 2 teams always do year in, year out? they win. If you prioritize the middle of the field, you can dominate because that's where the whole center of offenses are. That's where the whole center of defenses are. The green dot is typically in the middle of the field. You take him out of the play with a tight end that's very athletic, very versatile. You make him have to worry about that. Miscommunications can happen. You can get in someone's head. It's something we're going to see heavily in this draft class is teams that prioritize the middle of the field, and tight ends are going to go high and fast because of it. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you really liked it and you're just new to this content, hit that subscribe button. And hey, if you'd share this, because this is tight end palooza right now, this draft class. I can't remember a draft class that had this many like stud tight ends to draft. I'd have greatly appreciated it. If you want more NFL draft content, I've been doing a bunch of these position group type videos recently, mainly because I just want to talk about so many guys that I'm not going to have the chance to get to until April. And we're going to see just knock a bunch of these out of the park and then probably get back to more of a in-depth player analysis next week. But either way, if you really like this and you want some player analysis, there's a playlist on screen. There's a most recent upload on screen. I will probably be uploading, I believe it's cornerbacks tomorrow on Friday. So if you want to see that, come back, check that out tomorrow. And thank you for watching and have a great day.